Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Amplion from CZT Nina Dreher-Goddertz, and I hope I pronounced all of that right. Okay, well, if you happen to be following along Inktober Tangles, this is day 3, and it's an interesting and rather complicated looking tangle for today. But you know what? It's really not as complicated necessarily as it looks. There are a lot of steps, but we're going to take a look at it. Okay, so starts off with a couple of C-shaped curve lines, which is perfect. Now, you're going to want these at the bottom and center-ish of wherever you want this to be, because it's going to kind of grow and flourish from here. All right, and not necessarily too big because we have stuff going on either side, like that. Now, you will notice in my version of the step outs, and those are in the description section, I did split out a number of the steps just because I felt like it needed to be. So, because, you know, looking at the first step, if I combine these, one could maybe think, well, do I do this? If you're new to Zentangle, I like to gear everything towards the person that has just discovered this and you're so excited about it and you want to have fun with it. Because I remember being there and then being frustrated by some tangles because, like, oh, that's so hard. It doesn't stop me, but I just like to, you know, make sure that it's easy-ish, as easy as possible, and, you know, making sure that we're clear with things so you can have just as much fun as possible. All right, so once you have these off of my soapbox, sorry, then every once in a while I hop on there. All right. Then we're going to, from, you know, on each side, coming from one end, and we're essentially auraing it, or drawing another C shape, whichever way you want to think about it, inside, but connected to those ends, like so. And then the next step, it helps if you've done the Tangle Muka, especially Rick's version of Muka. I'll do this slow and actually get to do it on both sides so you can see it again. You know, if you haven't. So it's kind of like a large, well, we call it fancy fescue, but we start off with a large C-shape curve line. And I'm going to do this so that way my hand isn't in the way. I'll do my best here. All right, so starting from the center, we're going to swing up. Nice big C-shaped curve line coming around as if you're going to turn that into a spiral, and then stop at the distance. So however thick or thin you want, we'll call it the stem, for lack of a better way to say it, to be, kind of stop there. So you see that's going to make it rather thin. I could have stopped out here too, and then you just bring it back into the center. So this one, I'm going to try to do my best here. I really like the look of them when they're, especially with this tangle, because that's what they have, and it looks really, really neat. And there we go. And you know what? And I could have dipped it down a little bit further. You know, it's all good. All right. And then, you know, make sure that you do this so that way your hand is comfortable. And the nice thing here is that you can do this, and then you can readjust if you need to. And then also, regardless of where you stop here, you can just start tapering it in, you know, towards the other line to get whatever thickness or thinness, whatever, it sounded funny in my head as I was about to say it, whatever thinness you want to get out of it. That's not how we usually say it, but I will, because I like to make up words and terms and stuff. You know, it's whatever it happens. Okay, next. We're going to the more C-shaped curve lines, so that's good to know and good to think about. So coming from that same center place, we're going to come up and over like that. Try not to go into the other bit like I do. I try not to worry about it, but sometimes it happens. So like I said, just a big C-shaped curve line. It's almost like a big flux shape that's now hidden behind, where the, part is hidden behind there. And we're going to do the other side as well. And this, make sure to take a look at the For More Inspiration link and look at Nina's gorgeous work and her samples, because it'll give you extra ideas on how you might use this. I kind of think of this as like a feature tangle or your centerpiece, and then you might tangle around it or something like that. And she does it, I don't know how big of a piece she was working on, but where she has 4 of these, in the center of something. So again, take a look. And then too, so you can kind of gauge, I think this is about, right, however far out you want to have those go, it's fine. We're going to do another one coming in a little bit further. And this is, this kind of thing is the fun, especially like when I do this in a class. And it's so neat to see everybody's take, because everybody, just like we all have our own handwriting, we generally learn the same, right? But we put in our own style and our own thing to it, and it just becomes our own. All right, then, I could have put this one up a little bit higher, couldn't I? That's all right. So here we're going to do, it's called an onion dome, but what it is it's kind of a S shape or a bracket. I'm going to eyeball the center here. So I have like that. So it's kind of an S shape. I like to do it this way so that way I can eyeball the center and then do the other side and work to mirror it as best I can, and it's Zentangle. It doesn't matter. It's all good. All right, next, we're going to do more Muka. And you know what? Honestly, you probably could have done it at the same time. I like to, follow their, follow their steps. I'm talking with my hands and I'm banging the camera. Sometimes there's a rhyme and a reason for why. Well, these you have to do because this is, all built upon that. But it's one of those, it doesn't matter. You could do this step right after you do these Mukas while you're in the mode of Muka. All right, these ones are going to come off of this bulb and kind of nestle right in here. So what I found is, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to kind of take off and land right from here. And then here's where we're going to, put the bulb, right? So I'm working it so that way it's nestled in there as best I can get it. And then we'll come back like that. All right. And we get another shot here. Same idea. Going slow certainly does help. So that way, and then also having your hand and stuff comfortable. For whatever reason, it wasn't feeling comfortable. I could have probably swung it out a little bit more. But as we know, it doesn't matter. All right. And I talk out loud like that because if you're feeling uncomfortable with something or something bothers you, if I say something, hopefully the idea is, oh, well, maybe that's it. Okay. And just to help us all have more fun tangling. That's why I share, and that's why it doesn't all just stick in my brain and stay there like normal. Okay, that is it, except for playing and shading and that kind of thing. I didn't, I didn't look, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. And I just did shading on my version of the step out. But I'm going to throw a couple extra little things in here. Because I probably still could go back and do it. I like on the Muka, I like to put a little, I call it a swoosh mark. That's my term. It's just a little C-shaped curve line like that. It kind of implies a bit of shine. Just a bit. And of course you can fill in color, add things however you want. I am just needing, some of you know what's coming. The line ... because I just feel very compelled And I don't know why. It's a mood thing, maybe. I don't know. It's my comfort tangle enhancer. Oh. And then, yeah, I was thinking about this when I was, do I want to do that or not? Oh, why not? It needs to have a little bit of contrast. Well, too, here, I'm making this end up looking very planty. But actually, this, I'm going to fill this in. We're going to leave, I'd like to do this scribble for the shine. Because then I remember, so that I just fill into the ends, but at least I have it placed where I kind of want it. I try to do it bigger than I think, a bigger area than I think, because you can always come in like this, and it's nice to have it be jagged too, by the way. And I can always fill in some area versus the opposite direction. And you could also add with a white gel pen or white chalk pencil. I just like to keep things to the basics on these videos, black, white, shades of gray. Oh, I like that. Too, you can fill in any part you want. You just have as much fun with it as you want. I think I'm going to leave the rest of it. Maybe as I put graphite on, maybe I'll be inspired for something else. Okay. So then, and where the swoosh mark is, of course, you can put a little graphite. Ooh, and actually, because this is kind of tucked under that, we're going to put a little graphite there as well. Let's bring that out just a little bit. And this, I just like to swoosh it around, hence the swoosh mark. Yeah. And the pen mark, it accentuates, and that's nice. This, I'm going to put some graphite, because I really liked the look of it, on the outside of these. And then being careful, I want to kind of keep it sort of right where it's at, but having a little bit of gradient. Because to me, it looks like they're tucked underneath that. And then this is obviously seemingly behind those. Did it again. Sorry. I should raise it up, but I want it to be close up so you can see. No, I should just not be so wild in my tangling. That's what it is. And then it does need something at the top, so let's come down. And maybe we'll have the two sides meet. I don't know. I think on my version of the step out, I didn't necessarily, but you know what? It's so close. Let's just do. And I'm going to use the back end of this to lighten some of that up, pick some of it up. Oh, look at that. Yeah. You know what? Because I made it so large, it's like it just needs something. So we can. Ooh, you know what? I forgot that I was thinking, oh, I could, or, well, you know, I still can. All right, this is play. And there's no reason why you can't do things over the graphite. I do recommend, if you do, though, I have a little piece of folded paper towel, yeah, here somewhere, that I just kind of spin the tip of my pen in, so that way it doesn't get junked up with whatever I have just gone over. Well, I'm going to have to go on a search and rescue. Oh, no, there it is. It needs to be right there. But that's, you know, it's just Yeah. Let's do another one. Could continue it too. There we go. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. So that is it. Again, it's not, it looks a lot, well, it's not necessarily easy. We'll say that. But it's not as hard as what it looks like. And I don't think I've said it well. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So there we go. All right. So if you enjoyed this, and I hope you have, please click on the like button. If you liked it enough to see more while you're clicking, go ahead and click to subscribe to the channel. I mentioned the description section. That's where you find links to the step outs. And then also below that, my link tree, where you can connect with me if you like. I do classes Tuesdays and Thursdays. Generally, every once in a while there might be a change. But generally, that is it. A lot of them are free, especially the Thursday is always free. That is called Tangle Time. Where well, I would have maybe saved this for Tough Tangle Tuesday. But we would take a tangle. And Tough Tangle Tuesday is a free thing. It's on the third Tuesday of the month. But I would, take a tangle. We explore it. We have fun with it. Play with it as you want. And we have a lot of fun. So come and join us if you'd like to. Also on there, like I said, links to social media and things. If you aren't interested in classes, there's ways to connect with me on the link tree. One that's not necessarily mentioned is my Facebook page. So you can click that's the icon under my name. You can follow me there. And that way you'll get reminders, or you'll see the post. You might have to. Yeah, I think Facebook had changed something. If you follow a page or you belong to a group, you have to set the notifications, because I was like not getting notified for some of my own groups, and I was like, oh, okay, so they changed that. So you make it so it fits how you like to be notified. But I like to let people know that, because someone's like, I'm not seeing things. Well, go and turn on all notifications, every post or whatever, and that helps. All right, so all the information is there. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.